So guys, welcome back to another video, and this video is my next video on the series where I am trying to replicate an entire UI set using the Flutter framework. In our previous two videos we saw how to do this screen and this particular screen, right? These two screens. In this video we will continue and we will try to do the product description screen video. Okay, so and let me just get a bigger version of this screen. Here it just has an image carousel, a couple of rounded button at one end and back arrow at the other end, and some text here, and bottom bar that contains a large button and a couple of icon buttons. That's it, right? It seems pretty much simple compared to what we accomplished previously. Anyway, let's go ahead and do this. Let's try to make this a short video. Okay, so Alright, now I have a blank application here. There is nothing inside this, as you can see here, and I have inside my assets directory I have a set of images and fonts, and in my pubspec.yaml I have specified the images that I would be using for this project, as well as the font, the Montserrat font that I would be using for this project as well. Now back to the main.dart file. The first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and do this image carousel. Image carousel is nothing but a set of images with a active image indicator and a small round button at one end and a back arrow at the other end. Now, long time watchers of this channel, or if you look into the playlist, the Flutter UI playlist that I created, you would see that there is already a similar image carousel that we made for while we were designing our UI for the burger truck, right? You might remember that. So this carousel will be exactly similar to the one we did for the burger truck as well. But anyway, if you haven't watched the burger truck UI and you are just watching this video for the first time, I'll quickly run through this carousel design as well, so that you can get a better idea without watching that particular video. So yeah, I'll quickly do this image carousel now. But if you want to see how it's done, I mean, I have explained it in detail in my video where I designed the UI of a burger truck. And that included this image carousel as well. I have explained how to design an image carousel step by step in that particular video. So let's begin. First we will just create a photo index variable. This will be the one that's actually going to be denoting which photo is the active one and all that, and which one is the inactive. List, we'll have a list which contains the set of all our URLs, the image asset paths. Okay, photos equals a blank list, and inside this I'll simply go ahead and do the four things. Fine. Now I have the image paths of four particular images that I'll be using, and the next thing I'll do is I'll write a function void previous image and set state, set state photo index equals photo index greater than, why am I checking greater than 0? In order to check that this image is not the first one. Photo index -1. If this is true, then I should move to the previous image. If not, I'll simply set the photo index to be 0. Fine. And I'll set a similar function. The only difference would be the function title, where I'll have instead of previous image I'll have next image, and instead of this I'll have a photo index equals photo index less than photos dot length, which means that I'm checking whether the thing is the last one. If it's the last image, then obviously I should photo index +1. If not, I should just give photo index, so that there is no more it just stays on the last image. You understand this, right? If I'm tapping on the previous image to go to the previous image, then obviously I should check whether it's the first image. If it's the first image, then I should simply stay on the first image. If not, I should go to the previous image. I'm using that, I'm doing that through the index. Okay. Now the next image, it's a similar thing, but I am just checking if this is the last photo. If it's not the last photo, I should move on to the next image. If not, I should stay on with the last image. That's it. That's exactly what these two functions do. And then we'll, for getting our color, if you had seen my other two videos on this particular series, you would notice that I have a function to get the color from any string. So I'll have that function here as well. And the next thing I'll do is I'll start with the carousel, the actual carousel. Okay, body, I'll do a list view. Inside this I'll go ahead and shrink wrap true, and and children widget column. I'll have a column. This column will have cross-axis alignment, alignment dot start, and inside this I'll have a stack. Okay, a stack will be the most obvious one, since I would be wait, I'll show you. Since I would be required to place the image as well as these two buttons as well as this photo image indicator, so obviously a stack would be the best widget to use here. Children, inside this I'll have a container height 275.0. this is nothing but the height of this entire thing. And decoration as usual, box decoration, image decoration, image asset, image photos, photo index, fine, and fit box fit dot cover, fine. And I'll add a couple of gesture detectors. These gesture detectors will be placed on the particular image, and when I tap on the gesture detector to the right side, the image will move to the next image. It will trigger the next image function. When I tap on the gesture detector to the left side, it will trigger the previous image function. I'll show all of that now so that you guys can have a better idea. After this container, I'll simply overlay a gesture detector on top of our image, gesture detector, and this gesture detector will take up the same height as the container. So I'll be height 275.0, the exact height, but the width would be half. Why it should be half? Since the right side gesture detector would do a different function and the left side one would do a different function. So I am just giving half. Media query dot of context dot size dot width. The first one I can simply give the entire screen, right? Since the first one I can give the entire screen. For the second one, which is to be placed on the image as well as the first gesture detector, I should give it exactly half. Okay, so media query dot of context dot this is done. Colors dot transparent, so that it doesn't affect the view of the image. Colors dot transparent, and this is where the container ends. On tap, right? On tap or whatever. On tap, on tap. Next image, I'll trigger the next image function. I'll copy this and make a similar gesture detector. Instead of the next image, I'll do a previous image, and this width would be 2. Fine. Now we have two gesture detectors overlaid on top of a image, right? And since this is a stack, obviously, let's run this on a device so that you guys would understand what I have been trying to say so far, even if you are confused. So I'll just go ahead and run this on a device now. Let's see how this looks. Hopefully it should go fine. Cool, right? First of all, right away, let me just go ahead and remove this debug. Now let's check whether the gesture detectors that we wrote for this works. Now if I tap on the right side, it should take me to the next image. Wow, it's taking me to the next image. If I tap on the left side, it should take me to the previous image, which is happening as well, as you can see here. Now I'm just tapping on the left side, but nothing is happening since this is the first image. Similarly, this is the fourth image, right? If I tap on the right side, wow, why is this throwing up an error? Probably I made a mistake. Yeah, this should be -1. Photos dot length -1. Save this. Alright, now that it has loaded, let's just try tapping on the, okay, this is the last image, and even if I tap on the image, nothing happens. Similarly, this is the first image, and even if I tap here, nothing happens. So far our image carousel works fine, works perfectly, right? Now let's go ahead and finish off this completely by adding this photo indicator as well as these couple of buttons. So I'll once again get back into the stack. This is the one, right? After this gesture detector, I'll go ahead and add a padding edge insets dot only right. I'll give some 15.0 padding of 15.0, and what I'll do is I'll have a row for this child will be row. What I'm doing right now is, as you might have guessed, I'm trying to do this particular row. Okay, these two buttons, that is. Inside this row I'll simply have a children. First one will be an icon button icon will be icons dot arrow back. Fine. And color will be colors dot black on tap. I think it would be on pressed, right, since it's a button. That's the error, probably. On pressed. Fine. That's the reason why the IntelliSense also didn't trigger, I guess. Anyway, icon button. This is the back arrow button that we want, and one more button we need. That is the material button at the end. So I'll just give material, and inside this I'll give elevation, so that it gets that nice shadow effect. Elevation, border radius 20.0, and child container. This is the one that will actually hold the icon. Icons dot favorite. What was the color? Red. Color. Just save this. Let's see how this looks on the mobile device. Wow. Oh, it looks both of these are cramped together, right? So what I can do is inside this row I'll just give main axis alignment dot space between, so that both are placed at the two ends of the row. Fine. Now it looks really good, right? If I just tap on these, it will work as before, but if I tap on the buttons, the images won't. I'm just tapping on the buttons now. Probably you guys can't see this, but the images don't change. But whereas if I tap here, the images change. So this is completely overlaid on top of the gesture detectors. That's my point here. The next thing we'll do is this selected photo indicator, and then we'll move on to the cool stuff at the bottom of this screen. Now after this material, what I'll do is the next element in the stack would be no, not the material, sorry, after the padding, next element, oh sorry, my computer is an old bro. The next element would be positioned. Now once that I have done, you will see that when you actually see it on a screen device. You'll understand that better when you actually see it on a screen device. So child row, and for the row I'll just give children widget, and I'll get this from a different class, an entirely new class I'll write here. This class is the one that will build both the active image indicator and the inactive image indicator for us. Fine. So class selected photo extends state. So this would be a stateless widget. So stateless, what happened? Stateless widget selected photo, right? What was that? Selected photo, yeah. Selected photo extends stateless widget. I'll get a couple of parameters first. Final int number of dots. Once again, for those who already watched this burger truck UI video, probably you would know this already. So now I have two final fields, and then I'll use a constructor selected. Fine. Now I have I can receive two values. Number of dots would be obviously equal to the number of images in the list. So I'll just give photos dot length, and photo index would be the photo index. Cool. Now that I have a class separate, a stateless widget separately that will return my selected photo indicator, I'll just go ahead here, and then inside this I'll have a couple of functions. One will be for the active photo indicator, and the other one will be for the inactive photo indicator. Let me first do the inactive photo, and inside this I'll return a new container. This container will take a child padding once again, and I'll give some padding. Fine. Now I'll have another child for this particular padding, and second it's a container, and inside this container I'll just give width as 8.0, height as 8.0, and decoration would be box decoration. What else? Color would be inactive, right? So colors dot gray. Border radius would be border radius. Not radius. Radius dot circular 4.2. Fine. Now that this is done, I can simply make use of this same thing for the active photo indicator as well, right? Active photo, I need to just change the color, and probably I'll give a bigger dot maybe, so that you know that active photo indicator is a little bit bigger than the inactive one. 10, and I'll change this to 5, and I'll give this as yellow. Now that I have these two, I'll even give a box shadow for this so that it looks really awesome. Now that I have both of these, I'll just go ahead and do a list widget build dots. Fine. And inside this list widget dots equals, I'll close this, and that's it. And for int I equals 0, I less than number of dots plus I dots dot add I equals photo index active photo, if not active. You understand what I have done here, right? It's simple, guys. This photo index is nothing but this particular photo index that I am receiving while I am calling this constructor. I mean, I am receiving from the calling statement. Now I am checking if the photo index is I. If it is I, then that is the selected image. So in that case, I'll add this particular active photo class. I mean active photo widget. If not, I will simply do the inactive photo widget. So now I'll have, if I have 4 images, I will have 4 dots. Out of that 4 dots, the active image will have the yellow dot, the bigger yellow dot, whereas the remaining ones will be gray. So this is now handled, and what we'll make use of this particular function somewhere. Okay, return dots, where here we can make use of this particular function. So center child row. Now I believe everyone would have understood, right? Now as you can see here, this is nothing but a simple thing that we are doing. We are simply returning a row wherein the children will be nothing but a list of widgets. The list of widgets is nothing but our build dots. We are simply calling the build dots function and getting the list of indicators. Now if we save this, you will actually see, even if you are confused, once you see on the screen you will understand easily. Now if we reload this, yeah, as you can see here, we have a nice looking image indicator at the bottom, right? There is a single yellow dot and the rest of ones are gray dots. I don't know if you could see this on the I mean, I'll be overlaying this recorded video on top of the video while editing. So yeah, now you can see this, right? It's a bit brighter and you can see that there are 4 dots, and out of that only 1 dot is yellow, just like we have here. Where is it? Just like we have in our design spec, right? The photo indicator is present at the bottom, and it looks really awesome as well, and it automatically changes the color of the selected photo as we switch between 4 pictures as well. So yeah, that's it, guys. We now have the carousel built. Let's go ahead and do these stuff as well. This is nothing but lines of text, right? I'll just run through these. Now that is done, the major work is done. After I can get out of the stack, right? And after the stack, I'm still inside the column, so I'll just give a sized box. Sized box height would be some 20.0, and I'll add padding what happened? Padding edge inset dot only left 15.0 child text. What was the text? L side number 2323x. L side number 2323x. I'll just apply some text style here. Fine. Now we have some text of gray color, and that is nothing but, let's see how this looks on the screen. Cool. Now that this is done, let's I'll say number, there was a colon, right? Now that this is done, let's go ahead and do the next text. Okay, this Finnavian sofa. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. Fine. Now that we have this text as well, let's go ahead and do the next part, which is nothing but this small information and the price at the other end of the row. So what we'll need is, obviously we'll need a row, and the children of that row wouldn't be nothing but this small container containing the information and the text on the far end of the row as well. So what I'll do is, after this padding, I'll go ahead and add another padding. This padding will be we need two padding for this. One will be the edge insets dot, once again only left, this will be 15.0, right, this again would be 15.0, and after this I'll simply do a child row. This will take in two children widget. Is the auto complete? My laptop has become too slow, guys. Children widget. This is the one where I'll place a container, and then inside that container I'll add that particular text, the first one. That's what I'm trying to say here. This one I'll do, and then the next child will be a text. Okay, so since that is a text, I can simply, cool, the text is added as well. Let's save this and see how this looks on our device. It looks really good, right? The only thing is we need some spacing between the it now gave us a good spacing as well, and we have that nice, as you can see here, we have that nice looking text below our title and the price to the right end as well. Let's go ahead and do this color thing. Okay, color thing is nothing but a text and then a row containing 3 circles, and each of these circles is filled with a specific color. That's it. So what I'll do is, I'll first go ahead and do the text. Done. Okay, since this is a text, I'll save this. Let's see how this looks. It looks really good. And after this, I'll add 3 small circles that will each contain a specific color. That's it, right? So in order to do that, what I'll do is, once again I'll add a row, and inside that row I'll go ahead and give those specific circles. So the first thing I'll do is add some padding. After this padding, I'll add a sized box, have a child, a row as a child, row, and inside this I'll have children, and inside this I just need to have 3 containers with spacing between them with 3 different colors as given here, right? Now I already showed you how to change containers inside into small circles, so let me just do that and then get back with the recording. I have 3 specific circles. Let's save this so that you guys can see this on the screen. Cool, right? You just have those 3 circles just like it's on the design spec below the color title. The next thing we'll have is a material title, which is nothing but again a text. After this padding, I'll add this, save this. Now just watch what happens. We get this nice looking title here as well, right? And after this, we have 3 icons with some specific percentage values beside those icons. Now I don't have these 3 particular SVG icons, so what I'll do is I'll make use of the icons that come with the Flutter, the material icons, and then give these percentage values, so that this is exactly the same procedure that we followed here. The only difference would be I'll add a container first, and then inside that container I'll add an icon, and then beside that container I'll be adding a text. Similarly, I'll add a container first, and inside that container there will be an icon, and beside I'll do one thing and then we'll repeat for these 2. Okay, that would be a better way rather than me talking about it, right? So for the first, I'll do it padding. After padding, sized box height will be 20.0, and padding would be some padding edge insets set start only left 15.0 and child will be a row. This row will have some children, obviously children, and inside this children is where I'm going to specify a container for the icon first and then a text followed by the text, and similarly I'll specify 2 more containers with 2 more icons followed by some percentage. Just watch once. Container, and inside this container I'll go ahead and add height 50.0, width again 50.0, and child would be icon start time to leave. I gave a color for that and a size for that as well. The next thing I'll do is I'll add a text beside this icon. So text would be x 30% or something, right? X 30%. You get that nice looking icon as well as the text beside that particular icon as well, right? Just like we have it on the design spec. Similarly, we will create 2 more icons and then we'll have this entire row now. So let me just go ahead and there I just did those 2 other icons. Now we have all these 3 icons just like we have in our design spec. Probably we should have made them close to each other, and then there is some nice looking white space here, right? Probably we should have made this text a little bit smaller as well. Anyway, let's leave it. Okay, this is how you, generally this is how you do this. That's my point exactly here. The reason why this looks a little bit towards the left side rather than starting exactly here is that this entire icon will be placed in the center of that container. Okay, the container has a width of 50 and height of 50. So basically it will look like a square. Wait, I'll show you. Rather than me trying to explain this, if I show you guys, you will have a better idea of what I'm trying to say, right? Colors dot blue. Just look how the container looks so that you will understand why. See, the icon is placed in the center of the container, just like you can see this here, right? So this is the reason why there is a little white space rather than these two starting at the same point. Okay, now you can fix that obviously, but anyway, let's move on with the design spec, guys. If I anyway, okay, now that this is done, let's go ahead and do the what was that, the final touch, the bottom bar with a button and a couple of icon buttons to the left side. This looks like a fixed bar, right? So what I'll do is, rather than placing it inside the body, I'll use the bottom nav bar. That would be a optimal way, I guess. I'll student end here, and after this I'll do a bottom navigation bar, and inside this I'll have a material elevation as usual 7.0, and colors dot white. Fine. And child will be a container, and this container will be height. I'll give the container height will be some 50. Okay, this container is going to be our bottom bar. Width would be the exact width of the screen. So media query dot of context dot size dot width. Fine. Now that these two are done, let's go ahead and do a colors dot white again. Colors dot white, child, row. Inside this row, I'll go ahead and first I need an icon button, right? So I'll go ahead and create that button. I'll use an inkwell rather, and place a container with that particular icon inside that inkwell so that I can easily position them along in the row. That would be an optimal way, I guess. Fine. I have placed a couple of inkwells, and then I placed a container inside that inkwell with specific height and width values, and I gave this shopping cart icon inside that. Let's save this and so that you guys can see how this looks on a mobile device. Cool, right? Now you have a nice looking bottom navigation bar, and just to show that it's fixed, I am simply scrolling up, and as you can see that the bar doesn't scroll. So now let's place that big button to the right side as well. So in order to place that button, I'll once again create another container. Below this inkwell, I'll do another container, and inside this container I'll place a color, and width would be media query dot of context dot size dot width minus 130. Why did I give this 130? Since I already have two containers, each of height and width 50 and 50, right? So that's 100, and obviously I have a size box for some white spacing to the left, and that has a width of 10, so that's 110. And I would like some spacing between the buttons as well as the large button, so that for that I included another 20 units. So that's the width, media query, the screen width minus 130. Now that I have created this container, I can simply add a child and do a center inside that. In this center, I'll do a child text, and in this text I'll do a add to cart and style. Once again, some text style I'll apply so that it looks really cool. Save this. Let's see how that looks on our mobile device. Cool. The only thing is it's somewhat to the left, and there is 20 more units left for the left on the right side, which in turn shows up as a white space. So in order to fix this, just go in here, get inside the row, and it's not actually fixed. We needed that so that we could provide some spacing between the buttons as well as the large button. So main axis alignment dot, where's my intelligence, space between. Now if you see, it will just space that white space evenly between these two buttons and the large button as well, which makes our entire bottom bar look really cool, right? So yeah guys, there you have the UI, the entire UI. We have done this screen, as you can see here. We have the image carousel that obviously works perfectly, and we have those two buttons as well. We have a photo indicator here at the bottom as well, and the text and the price and the color and material. I couldn't get these icons, so I'm a little bit sorry about that. And at the bottom we have a nice, this shadow effect even is here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's there. And these two buttons as well as a large button that's fixed to the bottom in the bottom navigation bar. So in my opinion, we have replicated this entire UI almost exactly on our mobile device using Flutter. In our next so this is what I wanted to show you guys today in this video. In our forthcoming videos, we'll go ahead and finish off these entire UI set by doing this shopping cart screen and this registers page screen as well. I hope this video helped you guys. If you guys found this video really helpful, sorry guys, I think I just pasted a lot of code in between, and then cut the video here and there, and then resume the recording, so that my intention was that to give you guys a shorter video, at the same time not explaining whatever I have explained in my previous videos repeatedly, so that long time viewers of this channel won't get bored. Okay, but I wanted to include all those as well, since people who are watching this video for the first time would also get some interest. That's why even after pasting all those code, I just kept explaining what I have done, and I showed that on the screen as well as and when I included the code. Anyway guys, if you found this video helpful, kindly hit the thumbs up button. If you really like the content that I'm doing on this channel, if you really like all my videos, kindly hit the subscribe button and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss out any of my uploads. It will send you a notification whenever I upload a video. So kindly hit the bell icon as well. And if you found this helpful, kindly share it with someone and help them too. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.